The evil eye being connected to cockatrice, the scripture that we just read, and then now we can connect that as that viper that was going to crush forth after this destruction. Now remember what I told you about this being a Mayan World Age clock concerning the 13th Baktun count. There's 13 levels on this pyramid. They're pushing us all together to the New World Order. At the end of this 13th Baktun count is when they believe that their serpent is to return. Now we see the Bible describing the exact same thing, that at the crushing of the end of this age, that there's going to be a viper that breaks forth. As we look at the eye for the symbol, and then we connected the scripture, we come back down to deceiver. That's what you need to understand. You need to understand that there's a deeper truth here that is trying to show you something. I want you to also keep in mind that it describes it as a reptile monster. A monster is a mythological creature. Times monster mythology times reptile, you're going to end up with a dragon. Well, that's exactly what we see. The other thing that the Iraqi dinar shows for us here. It even shows us the very same egg of sin that Isaiah was talking about, that said that once this present world system crushes itself, once this egg is crushed up against Christianity, that this viper slash evil eye cockatrice will come forth. It's a complete fulfillment of what we're looking at. I want you to notice another thing. This is very powerful here. Remember I told you that this and these are the bulls that we related back also in the biblical scriptures, describing the bullocks and the bulls that were going to come down with them after this sacrifice in Basra. Well, if these are the bulls, what is this? It's a cock and bull story. Now, this is how the Spirit works. For some of you guys that have been with me for a long time, you have seen this Rajit's Theosaurus blow us out the water with spiritual confirmation. I just noticed this. This is here for us to see. It's so important that the Spirit is working overtime to get us all to see what's going on. It's a cock and bull story. The whole freaking Iraqi dinar is a cock and bull story, and it's deception, and it's about the return of these serpent gods. Now, to close this out, I want you to see here it says, this is chapter 14, "Rejoice not, thou whole Palestinia, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent." So after we get the crushing, once again the description now is fulfilling itself into a fiery flying serpent. In other words, a dragon. And that is what you're looking at, is described as a Mashushu dragon. I want to read one more thing to you. Listen closely. Analyzing the Washington Monument. The iconic towering Washington Monument is the most important presidential monument to the occultists. The immense structure is an obelisk, a tall four-sided stone pillar tapering toward a pyramidal top. Once again, the triangular object figures into the Masonic structure. But even more astonishing and revealing are its measurements. At the ground level, each side of the monument measures 55.5 feet long, which is equal to 666 inches. As biblical scholars point out, 666 is the mark of the beast, or the Antichrist in biblical prophecy. The 555.5 foot height of the monument converts to 6,666 inches. The obelisk represents the very presence of Satan. Observers of the occult explain that there were 4 major obelisks that were created by Freemasons in the 19th century. The first one was brought to France from Thebes, Egypt, and was placed in the Paris Revolution Square, where mass guillotining took place during the bloody French Revolution. Next to the Thames River in London, a third obelisk was placed in Central Park in New York City. The fourth obelisk of Freemasonry is the Washington Monument.